Everybody, welcome back to another special edition of God Made Millionaire TV, Into the Vault with T.C. Bradley. You know, it's my privilege and honor to host our show, God Made Millionaire TV, where we feature faith-based entrepreneurs who have activated their God-given dreams. And so many of you have reached out and said, TC, can you give me some insight? Can you deep dive on some of these concepts that helps so many people activate their God-given dreams? And so that's how the Into the Vault series was actually birthed, where I can come in and I can share with you and I can break down some of these concepts and strategies to help you activate your God-given dream. You know, ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in your life that are what I consider to be defining moments in your life. Moments where you come to the crossroads of your destiny, where a decision that you can make, one decision that you can make that will alter the course of your life. I firmly believe that you're one decision away from living a completely different life. One decision away. And it's a destiny moment that we're talking about here on this show. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share something with you, one of my destiny moments that was absolutely critical to the success that I enjoy now. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for this destiny moment, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to share with you will change your life. And I'm talking about right now, and right now. One day, I was sitting in my office, my personal office at home, and minding my own business. I was doing some business things that I had to get done. And out of the blue, the Lord spoke to me. Now, I'm not talking about an audible voice. I'm talking about that inner voice that you hear inside. And he spoke to me and he said, son, you're not playing big enough. I said, excuse me? Excuse me? What do you mean I'm not playing big enough? Have you checked my resume, God? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have this sort of relationship with the Lord. I always say the Lord doesn't need Netflix when he's got T.C. Bradley for entertainment, because he messes with me all the time. So when he challenged me, he said, you're not playing big enough. And I said, I'm not playing big enough? Are you kidding me? Have you checked my resume, God? He said, son, your definition of playing big and my definition of playing big are two different definitions. And then he pointed out some areas in my life where I played it safe. I made some decisions that kept me on the safety and the security of the shoreline. And how many of you listening right now to my voice, you know beyond any shadow of a doubt that your destiny and your God awaits for you in the deep waters. God is not found in the safety and the security of the shoreline, ladies and gentlemen. And the Lord pointed out some of these areas in business, especially in business where I played it safe. I called it wisdom. I played it safe. I didn't launch out into the deep. I'm here to tell you by divine appointment, you're watching this show. God has intercepted your life, and for some reason, you've clicked on the dial and you think, oh, it's by accident. It's not by accident. God has an assignment strictly for you, and he's calling you to the deep waters. He's calling you to leave the safety and the security of the shoreline. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave up. I said, God, I see your point. I see that I've played it safe on the shoreline. I've seen that. And God, I'm going to make a vow to you. And here's my vow. I'll not limit what you want to do in my life or through my life for the rest of my life. I made a sacred vow to my God. I made a sacred vow not to limit what He wanted to do in my life or through my life for the rest of my life. And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, I'm not a man that gets scared, but I knew what I had done. I knew what I had done. Because see, here's the thing. I'm not somebody that's just going to make a vow to my God and then not honor that vow. I knew what I had done, and it frightened me. It did. It frightened me because now I had no excuses to play small. I had no excuses to downsize a dream and call it wisdom. How many of you know that God-given dreams are not to be downsized? God-given dreams are to be upsized. Now, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge when it comes to this, is God doesn't consult your bank account or your calendar when He calls you to do anything. Within 9 months of me making this sacred vow to my God, within 9 months, an opportunity came to host my own nationally syndicated television show. A show that wasn't on my bucket list of things to do. How many of you know that on the other side of that yes, on the other side of that yes that God is looking to get from you, there's impact? See, God doesn't just give you a dream just for you. He gives you that dream because He sees the people that are going to be blessed by you and your gifting. If you'll ever get out of your own way and you activate it, there's so many people that will be blessed. You've stayed quiet for far too long. You've been in the shadows for far too long. And God is calling you out. God is calling you out. So I signed the deal. And we began taping. Now what's interesting is 4 months go by. In the 4th month of doing our show in season number 1 of God Made Millionaire TV, the global pandemic hits. A global pandemic hits. And to my production studio's credit, they gave me the option to put the show on ice until the fall. We didn't know what this was going to be. We didn't know what we were facing during this pandemic. And they said, do you want to stand down? Do you want to put this on hold until the fall, until we can sort things out? And I said, no, I will not put this show on hold. Now, we missed 1 month of taping, but we were the first nationally syndicated television show back in production. We would not back down, and here we are in season 3 of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the defining moments of my life happened when I was a young man, and I had been through such devastation in my life, and my life wasn't working for me. I was considered a failure at so many levels in my life, and I just cried out to God, and I had one of the biggest pity parties of my life at that moment in time, and crying out to God. I was a new Christian at that time, and I was like, why have you forsaken me? Why am I going through this situation? The forces of evil are just coming against me. Why? And I was just crying out to God. I'm talking tears where you don't feel like you can live another day. Has anyone watching this show, do you know what I'm talking about? And I cried out to my God and didn't hear a word from God. Did not hear a thing. And then when I was done crying, I heard the Lord speak to me in an audible voice, the only time that I've heard from God in that moment. He said, look at your hands. Look at my hands. Look at your hands. Okay, God. Took my hands out, put them in front of me, and I looked. Do you have nail scars in those hands for something you didn't do? No, God. No, I don't. Son, when they drive nails through your hands for something you didn't do, then, and only then, you can come and complain to me about your life. Look at your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a defining moment. I've talked to you about defining moments. And listen, I know that we've come through this pandemic, and I know that life has not been fair for so many of you. Some of you have lost churches. Some of you have lost loved ones. Some of you have lost businesses. And I know that it's not been fair. Life sometimes is not fair. And especially if you love the Lord and you think He's not hearing me, I challenge you, my brother, my sister, when you are tempted to lay that charge on God, to look at your hands. Look at your hands. And if you don't see the nail scars there, you, my friend, have no complaints. No complaints. Ladies and gentlemen, as I move to a close, in that cardiac intensive care unit, after I had that sudden cardiac arrest, and I was clinically dead for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, I had a defining moment in that intensive care unit. And I said to the enemy, I told the devil, I said, you've messed with the wrong one. You have messed with the wrong one. You never should have messed with me because I have my gifts, my talents, my abilities. And I'm going to come and wreck your kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some of you watching this right now. You've got to say right now, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You've messed with my family long enough. You've messed with my dream long enough. You've messed with my health long enough. Enough is enough. This is your day. This can be your defining moment. It was not by accident that you flipped this dial and tuned in to our show. I want to encourage you, if this was one of your destiny moments, I want you to visit our website. I want you to call us at the number down below and leave us your testimony. But never, ever give up on your God. And if you're tempted to feel sorry for your situation, look at your hands. Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying this special edition of Into the Vault. I've got another special edition, powerful teaching lined up for you, ready to go. But as that's getting queued up, I want to encourage you, if you're somebody that needs prayer right now, I want you to encourage you to contact us down below. Listen, I don't have holy water to send to you. I don't have a prayer cloth, but what I do have is a belief in our God's ability to do miracles on your behalf. I also want to encourage you, if you're somebody that's activated your God-given dream, or you're somebody that hasn't activated your God-given dream, join our community at GodMadeMillionaire.com. Visit our site. We've got training resources, publishing programs, media programs, coaching programs, partner programs. It's all there for you to equip and empower you to activate your God-given dream. So visit GodMadeMillionaire.com. And now, without any further ado, let's go into the vault one more time. Everybody, welcome back to another special edition of Into the Vault with T.C. Bradley, a special edition of the God Made Millionaire TV show. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to host our show each and every Monday afternoon on the Word Network, where we feature God's people that have activated their God-given dreams. And so many people reach out and say, TC, can you teach us how to activate our God-given dreams? And ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you from experience that there's certain keys that if you'll implement these keys, will absolutely change your life forever. I want to talk about one specific key about the words that you speak. I want to talk about the words that you speak. I believe the fastest way to draw money and wealth into your life is to change the words that you speak. The fastest way to change a situation in your life is to watch and change the words that you speak. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue, which tells me that you're either speaking life or you're speaking death into your life, into your situation, into your health, into your relationships, into your church, into your business even. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy when it comes to decrees and the power of a decree. But I will tell you that I'm not a part of that club. I will tell you that I've even seen people in the church talk about the blab it and grab it club. They call it, they diminish the power of a spoken decree. Well, here, what I will say to you is this, is that if no one wants that title, I'll take the CEO title of the Name It and Claim It Club, because I'm a witness to the power that our words have in our life, but we've never been taught, right? From a business perspective. And I'm going to open your eyes up to some areas in business where I've used the power of words, and it's meant so much in my business. You know, a lot of you are aware of the fact that the first book that I wrote, Supernatural Success, talks about the spiritual laws that I use to generate over $1 million online and beat Oprah in website traffic. Yes, that Oprah. And people always want to know, and they challenge me, and they say, TC, what's the marketing secrets that you used to beat Oprah in website traffic? Actually, the first thing that they usually say is, did that really happen? Did you really beat Miss Oprah Winfrey in website traffic? Yes, I did, in 2005. That was 2.5 years after I launched my first website. We generated so much traffic to that website. We had more website traffic going to our little website than Miss Oprah had going to her website. And I was not on TV. I wasn't on television at the time. And people will look and they go, did that really happen? I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, when you are a faith-based entrepreneur, when you love God, it seems the world likes to diminish what God has done in our lives. And I will not let the world diminish what my God has done in my life. Yes, of course, that's true. We did beat Miss Oprah in website traffic. And like I said, so many want to know, how did you do that, TC? What was your marketing strategy? Ladies and gentlemen, I would tell you that when I launched that website, I would lay my hands, I would pull that website up, and I would lay my hands on the monitor, and I would decree success over that website. I would decree it from the North Pole to the South Pole, from the East Coast to the West Coast, that people would come to that website, and people that normally wouldn't come would come to that website. And not only would they come, but when they got there, they would find favor in that website, and they'd want to purchase our products and services. Ladies and gentlemen, within 2.5 years of launching that website, we beat Miss Oprah in website traffic, and she was at the zenith of her life, of her media career in 2005. She wasn't at the bottom. She was at the top of her game at that moment in time. And we would decree success over our business, over that website. Now, you're looking at me going, are you Being real with me? Yes, I'm being real with you. That's what I did. Now, were there other marketing things we did? Of course. Of course, but this is foundational, ladies and gentlemen. It is foundational. And I cannot tell you that I'm some great internet marketing expert. I barely knew how to turn on a computer back then. And yet, God breathed his life and his favor and success upon that business. I'm going to share with you, for those of you that are involved in network marketing, the network marketing industry, I'm going to share with you a story that comes behind this story of how my good friend was able to generate $100,000 a month in income within 6 to 9 months. Would you like to know how they were able to do that within 6 to 9 months? I'm talking $100,000 per month. Now, obviously, they're involved in network marketing, and I'm not going to educate you on network marketing, but that was their business model that they were involved with. Well, my good friend, what he and his wife would do is they would write out a check for $100,000. $100,000. They would make it out to themselves, and they would mail that check to themselves. They would put it in the mail. 2 or 3 days later, that letter came with the check in it. My good friend and his wife, they would take that check and they would celebrate the check. They would bring it in. He would bring it in and goes, honey, I didn't shrink the kids, but honey, look at what we've got here, baby. It's a check. How much is it? She goes, it's $100,000. Oh my goodness, we've got to celebrate this. They would dance the check over to the fireplace. They would put it up on the fireplace. They would then get a couple glasses out and toast their success. They did this month after month after month, celebrating that moment like it was a real check. He said, TC, to us, it was a real check. It was a real check. And he said within 6 to 9 months, we didn't have to mail ourselves out a $100,000 check because they were coming in, TC. 6 to 9 months. How many of you, now I know there's some of you that are watching this and say, well, I could never see myself getting a $100,000 a month check. Well, you never will see it. You never will see it. He could see it. He could visualize it. He could visualize it. What if your life could change by doing something so simple and so simple that it could alter the course of your life forever? You think it's by coincidence that I was able to do what I did in my business, and now my friend was able to generate $100,000 a month in revenue just by this simple strategy. You know, I'll end by telling you this. Any promos that you see for my show, for God Made Millionaire TV, what do I talk about? I talk about this show being the hottest show on daytime television. I've called it the hottest show on television from day one. I've not deviated from it. I've not backed down that this is the hottest show on daytime television. What am I doing? I'm declaring, I'm decreeing success upon this show. Here we are, a brand new show with no support to speak of other than God being our source. Here we are in our 3rd season through a global pandemic. Now here we are on the hottest daytime television time, the most coveted time in daytime television at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, that's the most coveted time in daytime television. Why? Because for all those years, Miss Oprah had that time on lockdown. Miss Oprah could have had any time in daytime television. That was the time that she wanted, and that's the time that she occupied. Now our show in our third season through a global pandemic, here we are in the most coveted time in daytime television. Ladies and gentlemen, you can change your life if you change the words you speak. Don't sit here, and there are some of you that are watching this and go, this is crazy, I would never do that. Go, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not for you. Click on over, and I'm sure there's reruns of Barnaby Jones that you can watch right now. But this is for God's people, that you've been called, and you have a calling on your life. You've got a calling on your life that's going to require finances to see it through. God's got those finances, but you've got to do your part. You've got to decree. You've got to decree. You've got to take your checkbook out right now. Take your checkbook out and decree millions of dollars into that account, into your investment accounts. Decree it. Broke people, they don't decree anything into their accounts. You're here by divine appointment. You're here, I believe, because you have a mandate on your life, and it's going to require finances. But don't just get tied up into the world system of marketing. There are spiritual principles that if you apply into your life, simple principles that if you apply into your life will transform your life and your bank account if you activate them. Ladies and gentlemen, reach out below. Visit us on our website down below. Give us a call and share your testimony with us as well. Love to hear from you. Until next time on Into the Vault with T.C. Bradley, you be blessed. Hey everybody, T.C. Bradley, host of God Made Millionaire TV, and I'm honored and privileged to host the hottest show on TV, where each and every week we feature God's people, faith-based entrepreneurs and leaders activating their God-given dream right before your very eyes. I want to encourage you that if you're somebody that God has given a God-given dream, I invite you to come on our set and activate your God-given dreams. Book a call with our producers and walk in your destiny